Hey guys, it's Carissa with Inky Fairy Designs. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today is Watercolor Wednesday on a Thursday. By the time I get this uploaded, it'll probably be Thursday, but I wanted to get this out to you guys this week. I promised that I would get this out to you, so I'm working on another one of those Aquabord pieces. It's the 5x5 panel aqua boards by Ampersand, and I really like them. I forgot how much I liked them last week, and so I wanted to do another one, and so that's what I'm going to do today. I am showing you here my practice sheets. So I did a little swatching of the colors that I wanted to use there in the middle, picking out some colors, and then practiced different kinds of flowers that I wanted to do. Settled on this like purple bluish tulip because tulips are my favorite flower. I don't know why I didn't just start with those. I was trying to do all these other kinds of flowers to start with, and then I settled on a tulip, and I was like, that's my favorite flower, so of course why wouldn't I try to paint it. So I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I was trying out a few different quotes. I asked you guys last week in the comments to give me some ideas for some quotes, and so I was just practicing those as well to see which ones would fit good. These are the watercolors that I'm using. I am using all Daniel Smith today. You saw that I was using lavender, imperial purple, Payne's blue gray, and undersea green. So those are the four colors that I'm using. Kept it a really simple palette. Again, I have tons of paints. Okay, so when I do something like this, I'm just trying to kind of narrow it down, simplify it. So I'm using my silver black velvet brushes again. I'm using the number 4 round because it's a smaller area. I have my 2 jars of water, of course, always off to the side. I do have my paper towel off to the side as well. And then I do a little bit of mixing in the palette you see at the top. It's just like this big kind of rectangle palette that is great for mixing, and also if I want to water down my colors, I can put them in there, add water, lighten them so that I can get a lot of different shades. I can get some light washes, and then I can go over top with a more concentrated color. And so I really like to have like a separate palette, even though I'm using these watercolors directly from the pan. So here we go. And I actually kept this entire video real time. So if you ever wanted to see me watercolor like totally real time, this video is for you. Total, it took me less than 20 minutes to actually paint this panel because it's so small. And that does not include dry time. I try to let this dry naturally as much as possible in between the layers, because I tend to reach for my heat tool a lot. And watercolors are really great to let them dry naturally. They can do some really cool, unexpected, beautiful things. And I think I miss that a lot because I'm always constantly just, trying to get as much done as I can in the little bits of times that I steal away to film and create art for myself and share these things with you guys. So this time I kind of slowed myself down and I said, it's okay. Let's just let this dry. And then I shut off the camera and I did something else. I put my kids to bed, or I was practicing other flowers on some practice paper off to the side that wasn't anything that I wanted to film at the moment. So I think that added to some nice things that happened with this piece. So what I did was I just did some light color washes with the lavender. That's my bottom base layer for the flowers. And I kept the middles relatively open because I wanted the darker color to go there on top. And then I'm just adding some stems and some simple leaves. For the leaves, these are tulips, so they're kind of like long funky leaves, I think. They start out really skinny, they get really wide and beautiful, and then they go into back towards the stem and get small again. And so I just use like the tip of my brush, and then I push it down wide on my board, and then I lift up to the tip to the bottom. So that's how I made my leaves. And then after each layer, I ended up doing some of these splashes with the colors, and then also with just some clean water, because you can get some really pretty blooms when you add these splashes of color and water. And I think doing this, I like to do this because it kind of takes away from the perfection, because you don't know where that color is going to land and what it's going to do when it does. And so it takes away that kind of like, oh, I want this to be perfect. And I like that look. And so here I let it dry naturally. So I showed you what it looked like. And then we're going to come in and we're going to do the second layer. For the second layer, I'm going to take this darker purple. It's the Imperial Purple. And this color is absolutely beautiful. It's one of my favorite Daniel Smith colors. Most of my favorite watercolors will have like a dual tone or a shift in them, or they will granulate into a lot of beautiful separation. That's what I love about watercolors, and so those are the colors that I real gravitate to. And I'll admit right off the bat that I don't do a lot of mixing. I am, I guess you could say, lazy watercolor artist, because I just take advantage of all the beautiful colors that are out there that are pre-mixed, that are made. And Daniel Smith has like over 250 some colors, so there's like plenty of colors to choose from, and I don't really have to go into mixing. So I just get to pick out my colors and have fun. I don't have all the Daniel Smith colors, I need to say that. I do not have all of them, but I have quite a selection of them. And then, of course, I have other watercolors as well. So because of what I have at my disposal, I don't need to do a lot of mixing, but you could totally, do mixing if that's what you want. So here I'm just adding that layer on top. It's the darker color, and this is where I kind of go a little, I think I get in my head a little bit here. Anytime I turn on the camera or I'm working on a canvas, I will get nervous, because like my art journals are a safe place. Nobody's going to see them if I don't want them to. If something doesn't turn out and I'm filming, I can just delete it and start over. But when I'm working on something like this, where it's not like I can just go over it or turn the page or throw it away, because this is an artboard, this is like, I'm going to want it to be something at the end. I'm going to want to be able to do something with it, give it as a gift, whatever. I just get so intimidated. And I think it's because I'm so used to doing things that aren't meant to give away or sell or something like that. They're in my journals. I'm not planning on doing anything with them. So all of that to say, I kind of overworked it here. But I think by the end, I do fix it, and I think it still looks like a tulip, or a little bunch of tulips. And the beautiful thing is it's abstract. So in my head, it's a tulip. And in your head, if it looks like something else, it's okay. I think it still looks like a flower. And that's all that really mattered to me. That's my what I was going for. I love the abstract look. That's why one reason why I don't sketch anything. The other reason I don't sketch anything is because I can't sketch to save my life. So if I can't create something just by using my brush and like the different shapes and things that I can create just by manipulating the brush, then it's not going to happen. So that's one of the things that I do love about watercolors. So you can see that I will pick up some color from the pan, and then I'll go over to my palette or mixing palette, whatever, and put it there, and then I'll kind of mix it around. I'll add some water, get it nice and juicy. And here what I did was I combined a little bit of that undersea green with the Payne's blue gray. I liked when I was doing my practice on some practice paper, I kind of mixed those accidentally, and then I really liked it. So then I mixed it intentionally here on this piece. And just to give that darker layer on top, I still wanted to see that really light layer of green. And so I'm just lightly going over it, kind of like not completely over the first leaf that I painted, but a little bit offset so you can still see the lighter green. And then I'm going to drop some of that Payne's blue gray into the bottom of the flowers here. And then I'll bring in some clean water and just kind of spread it out, move it around a little bit. And then you'll see sometimes I will just pick up the color directly from the pan if I want it to be a little bit more intense. If it's wet there, I can do that and then just drop it and it'll just blend and smooth around, or just move around. And here it is, again, all dry. It's looking kind of like a hot mess, I think, but I'm persevering and pushing through, and I've got an idea. My idea here is I'm going to take that light lavender color again. That was my base layer that I started with, and I'm going to go over the top of my flowers with that color. So I kind of mixed it a little bit too much. There was too watered down. This is a very light color to begin with. And so here I added a little bit more pigment to my brush directly from the pan. And then I'm going to just continue to add a light layer on top. And I think I'm just giving like this rounded shape. I'm just kind of rounding it out a little bit. So I'm doing a little bit of, I believe it's called glazing in the watercolor world. I'm such a novice. I do not know what I'm doing. I cannot tell you exactly the techniques, and I cannot tell you, I can't tell you techniques at all. I can just show you what I do and kind of how it works for me. And then hopefully that helps, or just if you like watercoloring, it'll show you that you don't have to know what you're doing. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the medium, get to know the medium, and have fun. And so I think that layer on top, it really kind of gave that shape back to the tulips, because it was getting a lot of I was doing a lot of detailed stripes for some reason, and that just softened that all up. So I'm happy with the way that it looks. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to do the quote that I chose. I had a hard time choosing. You guys left so many great ones, but I ended up going with this one. Tracy Kiger, I think that's how you say your last name, left this suggestion. It says abide in him. And the reason I went with this is I went back and forth. I wanted to do live inspired. I love that quote. And then I wanted to, it wouldn't fit. I couldn't get inspired to fit. It was just, the way my flowers were wasn't going to happen. So then I thought I would do choose joy, but that just wasn't the one. And so then I decided to go with this one, and it was perfect because I had three lines, made it fill in that space a little bit better. And so instead of using my Pentel marker, I decided to do some actual watercolor brush lettering, and I'm using the Payne's blue gray just to keep it tied all together so that it all kind of is cohesive in the end, and used my Pentel Aquash brush in the small tip and just went to town with the lettering. And yeah, I kept it in real time so you guys could see. I know a lot of times when I was starting out lettering, you would always see, or I would always see the sped up version either on YouTube or on Instagram, and so it made me feel like I had to letter fast. but you really don't. You have to kind of take your time, and I still feel like I go too fast, but I'm getting better. And I really love the watercolor look on this entire piece. I felt like the black might have been too stark if I went with that. So I'm really happy with the way that it ended up turning out. I kind of fussed with it here. I don't know. I was just, like I said, when I turned that camera on, I fussed with it a little bit too much, but it turns out great. So it was still a little empty at the bottom there. So what I did was I added some more splashes of color, watered down that color, and just used my water brush and added some more of that around. And then I kind of wanted some bigger splashes. I wasn't getting a lot of big splotches of color, and so I kind of touched my brush directly to the panel and got some bigger areas of color, and then I was a lot more happy with the way that it turned out. So that's about it. That wraps up the video once I add these splashes. I hope you guys enjoy this video, this real-time watercolor video. I haven't done one of these before, and I'd love to hear what you guys think. I could do more as long as it's like around that 20-minute mark that I can kind of talk through, because my voice is already I need some water, like, desperately, but I think it was a good change up. So let me know if you guys like this real-time video in the comments below, and I'll try to get some more of them on here for you. I love to hear what you guys want to see. That helps me to plan out what videos are going to come up. Be sure to like this video by giving it a thumbs up, and if you aren't already a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel. Click on that bell to be notified as soon as a video comes up. And also, I would love it if you would share this video with your friends on your social media. It just helps new people to kind of find my channel. If you like it, they might like it. I will see you guys in the next video, hopefully on Saturday. Until then, do something creative today. Bye.